was the week after I turned 18. I'd already graduated high school, but not yet in college. I never dreamed that a sock would be my most prized possession, but that's where I was at in life. 18, homeless, and with my beloved sock. It was a Saturday in February, and it was cold, and it started like any other day. The fireplace was lit. Mom and I were making supper. We were making vegetable beef soup with tons of seasoning. My dad and uncle, they were in our bathroom repairing the floor, and as they were finishing up, they walked through and commented on how good the soup smelled. They pitched some wood into the fireplace and then left for town to run some errands. Mom and I continued about our day, and when they had pitched that wood into the fireplace, it ignited quickly, and the flames shot up through the chimney. It died down fairly quickly, so we didn't think anything of it. So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden we hear this noise. Crackle, crackle, crackle. But it wasn't coming from the fireplace. It sounded like it was coming from the roof. Mom asked, "What is that?" I didn't know. I looked around, and I didn't see anything. So I go outside, and to my horror, there's smoke billowing out of our roof through the shingles. I run back inside and I say, "Call the fire trucks!" Because at that time, my brain wouldn't even think of the phrase, call 911. It was call the fire trucks. Mom grabs the phone and starts dialing. I grab my dogs and my mom's purse and put them out in the yard. Then I go back in after I make sure they are safe, and I get my mom and help her out into the yard because at the time, she was disabled and couldn't walk unassisted. Once in the yard, Mom calls Dad to let him know what's happened because he had already left for town. He beats the firemen back to our house and runs inside. He grabs firearms that had been passed down for generations through our family and a handful of clothes from my mom because she was still in her nightgown. Me, on the other hand, I was in the yard, barefoot, in February, in 30-degree weather. The firemen show up and they never let us go back inside the house, and they make us evacuate to our neighbor's yard. We stand there and watch our house and all of our belongings burn to the ground. Me still barefoot in February in 30-degree weather. The news spreads about our house burning, and friends and family start to show up, and a family member shows up with a pair of socks. She says, "I don't know why, but I brought a pair of socks." I was so happy. I was so happy to have something put on my nearly frostbit feet. The chaos calms down, and my uncle offers us to let us stay with him. We go to his house, and I borrow clothes from him while I take a bath, and they put my very, very dirty socks in the washer because I was wearing them as shoes. The next morning, I go to get my socks, and I'm met with absolute heartbreak. I open the dryer, and only one sock is there. I cried out, "I don't have anything but a pair of socks, and now the dryers ain't one of those." I laugh about it now, but at the time, that absolutely broke my heart in a time of already complete brokenness. It was heart-wrenching. But the lesson I learned out of that is, no matter who you are, no matter what you own, no matter what you're going through, no matter if it's the only pair of socks you own, the dryer will eat your socks too, no matter what.